Hey, Coach. Nice win there. Just your thoughts on the way your defense was really able to hold that 49ers run game in check. It seemed like everybody was swarming to the edges to really kind of keep things hemmed in to not let those backs escape. Can you just kind of comment on the effort there?
Yeah, I thought it was big, Chris. I thought it was big that we were established a line of scrimmage, set the edges, and Leslie Frazier, his staff, and the players executed extremely well. And there's some meat on the bone at the end of the game there. Would have liked to have gotten off the field. So those are some of the things we can learn from going forward.
And then just quickly, just the complete command that Josh seemed to have from start to finish in this game.
Yeah, you're right, Chris. Well-executed game plan. Coach Dable and his staff and Josh and our offense really did a nice job playing clean football. Josh, going into finding his receivers, some on schedule, some off schedule plays as well. So that was good to see. And then the drive before half, I thought was really at a high standard. I mean, it was elite, with the clock management there and the execution by the players.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
Sure. Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Hey, Sean. Congrats on the win. Going back to Josh, just what do you make of the way that he's continued to build and develop that chemistry with Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley? I know we talk about it all the time, but it just seems like he continues to build that chemistry and that relationship.
Yeah, I mean, it's time on task, Heather, right? So just, spending more and more time going through, different looks, getting all the reps that they've gotten now to this point in the season. And I also would mention getting the ball to the backs like he did in the tight ends. I thought was key to just spreading the ball around as well. And I know he hit Gabe as well over the middle I thought it was a phenomenal throw and catch and a big play for us at one moment. I think it was in the second quarter.
You've characterized wins in different ways. You've said that you said one win was a character win. Another win was an emotional win for the city. First win on Monday night for this franchise since 1999. Just what does that say about the steps that this organization has taken, and how would you characterize this win?
I haven't given it much thought. All wins are good wins, Heather, but I'm happy for our organization, obviously, and happy for the fans. I mean, I'm sure everyone back in Buffalo stayed up late to watch it, so hopefully the kids got some rest and everyone can get up early tomorrow when they're supposed to get up.
Yeah, my dog was having kind of a rough time staying awake on the couch with us. Thanks, Sean. Congrats.
Sure. Thanks.
Hey, Sean, you said there's some meat left on the bone there at the end of the game, but all in all, is this probably the closest thing to just a complete four-quarter game that y'all have played so far this season?
Give me it again. You froze up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
I know you said there's some meat left on the bone. What was this probably the closest thing to a full fourth quarter effort that you've played all season, just a complete game?
Yeah, it was. I'm always looking for more, and I love the fact that our players are as well. So we'll go back to the drawing board this week, but I thought the takeaway by Trey White was key down the stretch, and the ball and answer when they scored in the fourth quarter. So all good complementary football pieces right there.
And I mean, it's documented the team struggles in the third quarter, but I mean, pushed even today. What was it that made this third quarter different than some of them that we've seen in the past?
Yeah, I just think the players are have a good level of awareness for it. They were fired up in the locker room at halftime to go back out there and put their stamp on this game in particular and us moving forward here.
Gotcha. Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Coach, great win. Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports 1080. How's it going?
Good, Mookie. How are you?
I'm great, Coach. How refreshing is it to see your quarterback poised and under control under those pressure moments, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, he's that's how he's wired, and our offense feeds off it. And I just really appreciate the way he played the game tonight. He played the game in a very patient way when he needed to be patient. He took some shots when he needed to take some shots, and I thought Coach Dable called a great game, and Josh and the offense executed. I mean, there were some moments where we had some leakage, but I thought the offensive line, in order to have those numbers, the quarterbacks, the offensive line's got to give them time, and I thought they did that for the most part.
And speaking of that, Coach, how impressed were you with the way your team executed on a high level on a national platform?
Yeah, again, these guys had we had a good week of practice. Players were in a good position, I thought, mentally coming into the game, and they were focused and ready to go, and even the backups were ready to go, which is great. I mean, when Feliciano went down, a couple other guys went down, next guys came in and did a good job there for us. So it was good to see.
Absolutely, Coach. Great win. Safe travel.
Okay, thanks, Mookie.
Yes, good evening, Coach. George Radney, Challenger Community News.
Hi, George.
Hey, good. Congratulations on the win tonight. And the question is, what's your secret of getting your team ready so that when they even to take a trip to go all the way out to Arizona for the second time this season, the guys have their legs, they look fresh, and every week they look ready to play?
Well, that's a credit to them and a credit to our coaching staff, George. We've got good guys that come to work, ready to learn, ready to improve on what they did the day before or the game before. And I think that's that growth mindset. And when you've got guys that are eager to learn and grow, I think that's a good quality for a football team.
All righty. And last question for you. What's on Dale Johnson's play tonight? I see you giving the young guy a little more time, and he looked like he's trying to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you do with the opportunity, right? So he did flash. I thought he flashed a couple of plays last week, flashed again this week. I know there's some plays he wants back, just like last week. And so he's a young player that's going to only get better, and he's wired the right way as well. He is an extremely hard worker and a good young man.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. Safe travels coming back.
Thank you.
Hi, Sean. You guys have gotten progressively more aggressive since you've been here with fourth downs, end of half situations. How would you describe the way this team has evolved in that way?
I think we try and be responsible with it, Matt. We don't. I think we just do it to do it. It's calculated sometimes during the week, and then obviously during the game. I think Dennis Locke and Mark Lubick, my two assistants upstairs, do a phenomenal job of working together and analyzing the game as we're going and evaluating the necessary areas. So it makes my job easier.
I know those guys are they weren't here when you got here. What have you learned, I guess, about that stuff? That's stuff you don't know as a coach until you go through it. What have you learned since you started being a coach to now with those in-game decisions?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, there's no substitute for experience. I mean, when you're a coordinator, you're not really analyzing the game and evaluating the game in that way, in that light. And I think that experience has helped all of us, including me, and it's been a great teacher. And let's just hope we continue to do things at a high level in that area.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, Mike, Catalana. The physical nature of this game. I mean, the 49ers are a physical team. The way your team matched that, maybe even exceeded that, what does that do for them now and going forward with the type of games you're going to play and into playoff games?
Yeah, well, I just think you got to be able to do that, Mike. This is a physical sport, and you've got to be able to play physical. You've got to be able to control the line of scrimmage, win the line of scrimmage, and I think for the most part tonight we did that on both lines, offensively and defensively, and that'll be the key to our success as we move forward as well. I mean, that's where the game's won or lost is usually up inside there.
Did it? I mean, again, we're watching on TV. You're there. You're on the sidelines. It did seem like the game had a little more of that, especially early on, and your team didn't back down. I know you don't expect them to back down, but in those spots, the way they performed in those circumstances of a physical team trying to take it to you guys and the way your team responded.
Okay, so you broke up a little bit. So if I heard you correctly, just we played physical in the way we responded to them.
Well, I mean,
right?
yeah, right. They certainly appeared to try to do that at the beginning of the game, and your guys matched it the whole way through and played a very physical game today.
Yeah, they're a physical. Kyle does a great job.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best coaches in our league, and you know, our offensive line and defensive line, they knew it was going to be a physical game. They like to run the ball. I think we held them to 86 yards, I believe, rushing. So, you know, there's some things we can do better, though. I'll give them credit. They made some plays down the field on us, and we got to get better with those areas as well.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, you guys made the decision to go with Ike Bucker today, and you mentioned that this offensive line pass blocking was really strong today. What did you like about this combination and how Ike played today?
Yeah, Ike's a tough dude, man. I love him. You know, he comes from a real solid program at Iowa, and I just really appreciate the way he's worked since he's gotten here. You know, he hasn't always been the starter. He's been on the bubble. He was here. I think he went to Kansas City. He was back, and he continues to come to work every day with a great attitude and a desire to improve his game. And I think he's probably one of the most well-liked guys on our team just because of those unselfish qualities.
And Matt, coming back, activating him, how did he make it through the game, and what were your impressions of how he played?
Yeah, it should be a confidence builder for Matt. I believe he made it through healthy, and you know, it's been, I think, 4 or 5 weeks since he played, 5 or 6 weeks there since he's played. So it's good to get him out there and get him going again. And I really appreciate the way he approached the week, as well as AJ Klein as well.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, it's Kim Jones. I wanted to ask you about a play that stuck out to me, and that was the crosser by Gabriel Davis right before halftime. He has a long way to go. He turns that corner and gets out of bounds in time for you all to kick a field goal. Is that the idea of what you're building? I mean, this is a rookie with all of that awareness and the ability to pull that off, and you guys get 3 points at the end of the half because of it.
Yeah, Kim, that's spot on, man. Just love that. I love that level of execution, right? I mean, it's high level stuff right there, especially for a rookie to have that awareness and the wherewithal to know where the clock is in the stadium, number one, and then know what he's got to do to get out of bounds so we can kick that field goal there. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Sean. I appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, Coach, Jason Wolf with the Buffalo News. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Jason.
So the country not only got the opportunity tonight to see you guys take care of business against the 49ers, they also saw Washington defeat the Steelers. I know that you had a similar experience when you were with Carolina, unbeaten late in the season, losing one game. And so based on your personal experience, what are your expectations for this upcoming week and now the Steelers perhaps refocusing, having suffered their first loss and coming in to face you guys in Orchard Park?
Yeah, you know, every situation is different, Jason. But I know going through that, I think we got to 14-0 before we lost. And I mean, it's a hard thing to manage, right? The pressure every week of you keep adding wins up, and everyone wants a piece of you at that point. And so I can empathize, you know, with their situation. That's a hard thing to continue to roll out every week and play at the level that they've been playing at. So we're going to get their best. That's Mike Tomlin's one of the greatest coaches in this league, and I think he's going to have them ready to go. And I think we got to be ready. You know, it's probably the best team in the NFL, and so they're coming to Buffalo, and they'll be, to your point, they'll be ready.
Anything special about or odd about getting a chance to walk out of Arizona now with a victory after what had happened the week before the bye?
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that our team could come back here and finish what we started here and finish it the right way. And I think it just, to me, man, in life, like, you got to be mentally tough, and not just in sports, but in life, you got to be mentally tough. And I thought it took a lot of mental toughness for our guys to not even flinch when they heard the game was going to Arizona, and for our whole building, honestly, the entire building, to come out here, make this type of get this type of game and get this under our belt, and we move forward to the Steelers next week, to your point.
Congrats again. Appreciate all your time.
Sure. Thanks, Jason.